Hi ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are doing amazing today. In another video. In this video, I wanted to discuss narcissists and how they view animals and how they treat animals. As you guys know, a lot of you have probably heard that animals aren't just physical beings, right? They're also spiritual beings just like humans. And animals also carry spirits, right? And so, more often than not, animals are there to protect us, to protect our homes, and to be our companions, like spiritual companions, right? And not only do they protect us against bad spirits that might potentially come into our houses or be in our homes, right? Like, for example, I don't know if you guys have heard, right? But many, um, you know, uh, many animals, right, or many cats, they start following that spirit around, right? If they notice a spirit in a new house, for example, they might start following it around, right? And so they, animals might start, like if it's a dog, it might start barking, right, if nothing is there at something, right? Or if the cat might start meowing, right, or just following something around, like something random, right? Supposedly they're a lot more they're closer to they're able to view ghosts, right, in another dimension, right? Because they're not like humans, right? So they can they have that ability, right, to view beings in another dimension, basically. Okay, so there's that, right? But also, of course, just by being, right, just by being themselves, animals are spiritual teachers, and they remind us of a lot of things like, being more present, right, becoming being more in the moment, right, living our life in the present moment, slowing down, right, just by sleeping and just laying around. And cats don't seem to have a worry in the world, right? Dogs too, they remind us of that too. Like, they remind us to slow down and to just be, right? To just be human beings instead of being human beings, human doings, I mean, right? And so there's that, right? And so, animals are extremely amazing, and of course I forgot to mention that animals also offer unconditional love, right? And they're like children in many ways, right? Um, they will forgive you, easily, right? And they will uh, they will not hold a grudge, right? They don't hold any anger in, and they just come to you. Of course, over time, just like with people, right? Animals and probably cats too. They can become more vicious, more angry, right? More sad, right? So if they are getting abused, then that's what will end up happening, right? You're going to have an animal that's full of bad energy, I suppose, or bad emotions, right? And so, and that's an animal that hasn't been treated well, right, over the years, in the long run, right? And I've seen animals like this, guys, and that's one indication that the owner is most likely a narcissist. Okay, uh, actually, you can observe, make sure that if you want to spot a narcissist early on, try to look out for clues like that. For it's the little clues, right? So how does that person treat an animal, right? Because I've seen a narcissist also treat their animals poorly in public because they think it's acceptable. They think it's okay. They might kick them, they might yell at them, and so they might treat them like a thing, right? Because to a narcissist, an animal is like an item, okay? If they don't treat well, if they don't treat people well, do you think they're going to treat animals well? Of course not, right? That's it's impossible, right? It would not make sense, okay? So more often than not, just like they would do to a person, right, to another person, they will do the same to an animal. They're not going to take care of them well, okay? They're not going to look after them. They're not going to take them to the doctor. They're not going to clean them. They're not going to um, you know, I don't know, feed them, right? Even they might forget to feed them or something, you know. They might keep them in very tiny spaces instead of letting them run around. You know, they might lock them in the bathroom all the time. My mom used to do that, you know, to our cats, you know, when I lived at home, right? And so, um, yeah, and the animals might be very, very sick too. You know, at one point, right, I wasn't home for a long time, right, and I decided to go back for just a few days, I think, right, and so I ended up coming back home for like a few days, right, and then lo and behold, what do you think I noticed? I noticed that one of our cats, you know, and I have a very strong intuition. My intuition told me that the cat was, it kind of looked at me, and I looked at the cat, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's sick, you know? And so I took it to the doctor, and of course it was sick. It had a tumor, okay? And so, you know, I was really shocked, you know, I was shocked by it. I was upset because it was such a nice cat, you know, and so yeah, and another thing that you have to consider, right, is that narcissists lack that emotional maturity, right? And so, just like with kids, probably they would do the same to a kid, right? Is that they will punish, right? They will punish and they take everything personally, right? So, if the cat poops somewhere or if the dog, poops somewhere or pees somewhere, right, in the house, they automatically take it personally, okay? It's like a personal attack on their space, like, how dare you poop on my floor, right? Do you hate me? You know, so that's how they view this, you know, instead of viewing it as maybe the litter box wasn't clean, you know, maybe maybe you didn't walk the dog, you know, maybe the cat feels unsafe, right? Maybe he feels insecure. Cats tend to do this, right? When they feel insecure about, maybe they're new, right? Maybe they don't feel as secure in their relationship with you, so they start pooping and peeing as to mark their territory, you know. So this can happen too, right? And so, but narcissists will never understand this, right? And so they will take everything personally, and the poor animal will get punished for it, just like a kid would too, right? They will take everything personally with a kid too, and they will punish them instead of understanding their developmental stages, right? And so that's the issue, you know, that's the issue, guys, right, with narcissists. They will not treat animals well. More often than not, they will get an animal because first of all, maybe it was left to them by someone who had no choice but to leave their animal with them, right? That's one thing, right? Another is they will, if they do get an animal, they're going to use it somehow. You know, like my mom, she used her dog as an emotional support dog, right? And I believe she got the handicapped badge for it, right? And so she used it to park, you know, in she used it to get priority parking, basically, right? Which is just terrible, you know. But yeah, that's what she did, and that's what a narcissist would do. They will use this animal in any way that they can. They will use it as a scapegoat too, also, right? They will project their own personal issues and garbage and negative emotions that they cannot handle. They will project them and dump them onto the animal, right? They might hit it, physically abuse it. They might call it names, right? They might basically they will do everything that they would do to a person if they had a scapegoat person, right? But they will use the animal as a scapegoat. Okay, as sad as it is, it's and it's terrible, of course, but it happens all the time. And I've seen this in many cases, guys. I've seen this outside. Like, one thing that will distinguish a relationship between a person and a dog, right, or a cat, like when it comes to narcissism, right, or narcissist, is that a lot of times the narcissist will not hide that abusive relationship with an animal in public. Okay, a lot of times they won't hide it. They might yell at the animal, they might kick it. Okay, as if that's okay, right? Which isn't, obviously, which isn't okay, right? But they will still do that, okay? So look out for those signs. Make sure that, you know, sometimes, guys, okay, not liking animals is not always a sign of narcissism or narcissists, okay? It is a bit strange, I would say, right? Because animals do offer unconditional love, right? But it is not always a sign that a person is a narcissist, okay? One of my exes, he was an empath, right? And he didn't like animals for some reason. I don't know why, really, okay? Some people might have bad experiences with them. Maybe, you know, maybe they've been bitten in the past, right? I myself, I adore animals, okay? I would have like a million of them if I could, okay? Just around me, right? Well, maybe not a million, I'm just kidding, but you know, like a lot of animals basically, right? Because I just really adore them, right? Their coziness, their I don't know, just their company, you know. I think animals are great companions, okay? And so you know, they're funny too, right? There's so many like funny videos of them we can view on the internet, right? And they just make us laugh, right? They do like silly things all the time, right? And there's that too, right? They kind of teach you to be less serious in life just by being so funny too, right? But anyways, but yeah, to narcissists, right? They view animals as they view humans too, okay? They view animals as things to be used, okay? They think that an animal, if you don't feed it, you know, then it's not gonna love you anymore, okay? And it's just gonna like, it's not gonna care. It's just about you, and it's just gonna ignore you, right? And so you know, they think, oh, he just comes to you, you know, he goes on your lap, right? They show you this unconditional love because you feed it, okay? That's their thinking basically. I know because my ex told me this about a cat, you know, and I was like, I don't agree with you, you know. I don't think that's true. Um, and so yeah, you know, so uh, like narcissist is incapable of treating animals well, okay? Because deep down they hate themselves, okay? They despise themselves. They have a lot of unworked, unresolved emotions, okay? And they're going to project all of that on their poor animal, okay? And as you guys know, when this happens also, right, over time the poor animal will also start to get sick, okay? It's going to get sick, just like another person would have gotten sick too, okay? Like a scapegoat, right? Anyone that gets involved with a narcissist eventually will start get physically sick too, okay? So spiritually, right, and then physically, okay? And so first come the emotions, the unseen, right? And then you're going to start get the physical manifestations of that sickness too, okay? And so yeah, it's very normal for animals to eventually start getting cancer, tumors, you know, all kinds of different sicknesses, okay? And unfortunately, you know, the narc will not care at all. They're not going to take care of them, you know. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and stay tuned for another video, okay? I hope you guys are doing well, and please subscribe, and please like if you liked this video. Alright, bye bye.